Then next meal, they don't remember. No.
21st to order. We led in prayer tonight by Dennis Wilmsmeyer.
We ask for your guidance to all decisions. Please look over our first responders, our policemen and firemen, protect them on a daily basis as they serve this community. We ask all your blessings in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
McDowell.
Here.
Pickerel.
Here.
Davis. Here. Smith.
Here.
Harrington is absent. Lemaster.
Here.
Hawkins.
Here.
Pearson. Here. Yeah.
Here.
Burton.
Here.
Mayor Parkinson. 9 present.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the Township Board meetings from October 7th, 2025. Motion by Ms. Pearson, second by Alderman Lemaster. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Presentation of communications.
None for the township.
Thank you. Finance Committee, Alderman Hawkins.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills from the township fund, and that amount is $47,909.07.
A motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Pearson. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Master.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Aye.
Parkinson.
Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
And I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills from the general assistance fund, and that amount is $17,812.58.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Garcia. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith. Lemaster. Hawkins. Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Aye.
Mayor Parkinson.
Aye. Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Any unfinished business? Any new business? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Pearson, second by Alderman Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Who's? Ayes have it. Can we find out who's touching their
Yeah,
monitor
what
for
is
their microphone, please?
Ours are coming off and on. We're here.
All right. They're very touchy.
Probably fire the person.
All right, I'll call the Granite City City Council meeting for October 21st to order. Madam Clerk, roll call.
McDowell.
Here.
Pickerel.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Harrington is absent. Lemaster.
Here.
Hawkins.
Here.
Pearson.
Here.
Garcia.
Here.
Burton.
Here.
Mayor Parkinson.
Here.
9 present.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the council meetings from October 7th, 2025. Motion by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Presentation of communications.
We have public correspondence.
I'm sorry.
We don't have anything. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up. We have no presentation of communication.
Dan, did you? I think we.
Public court.
Oh, I got you.
correspondence, yeah.
I don't. Oh, gotcha. All right. Public correspondence. There you go.
Mr. Kluskins would like to
Thank you.
invite council.
Great. Mr. Glaskins, come on up, please. You have 3 minutes, sir.
15. No. Good evening, Mayor, distinguished members of the City Council, and fellow citizens. I appreciate the opportunity to address you tonight regarding an issue that holds great significance for many in our community. The Hometown Heroes Banner Program. The Hometown Heroes Banner Program serves a as a proud representation of our city's gratitude towards the brave men and women who have dedicated themselves to serving both our community and our country. These banners not only honor our local, also serve as a powerful reminder of the sacrifices made to ensure our freedom and safety. Through these programs, a sense of pride and unity is fostered among the residents and visitors alike. There were challenges with the banner pricing. Over the past 2 years, the price of these commemorative banners has increased 3 times, raising from $150 to $279 each. This significant increase has unfortunately placed the purchase of these banners beyond the means of many of our community. American Legion Post 307's commitment required a response. In response to these challenges, the American Legion Post 307 has taken decisive action. We were committed to finding a new vendor capable of producing high-quality banners at a substantially reduced price. Our goal is to make participation in the Hometown Banners Hero program accessible to even more members in our community. We've updated the program, and I'll be getting with the city clerk's office and risk management to change the flyers. To facilitate the purchase and timely deliver of new banners, we have established a selling window for new orders, which will run from November 15th through March 15th. This time frame allows adequate processing and delivery so that banners can be placed and displayed on poles prior to Memorial Day. It is with great honor I announce the new price for the banners, $95.
Wow.
That is a saving of $184.
Wow.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Hey, great job, Dan. Great job, Dan, as always. All right, any other public correspondence?
No other public correspondence.
Thank you. Under mayor's remarks tonight, I do have a certificate of recognition with Logan Braden. Come forward, please. All right, sir. Let Alderman Dow tell the story because he was directly involved.
Here. Mayor,
Right.
they will not be able to hear you if you don't use one or yours or however you want to do.
Dan, you want to grab one over there? Yes,
Girly?
My wife and I were over at St. Louis University. Wife and I were over at St. Louis University seeing her position. We went out to the parking lot to come home, got home. It was a Wednesday night. I was at church. She called and said, "There's somebody at my door and they won't go away. It's dark and I don't want to answer the door." And he's holding something up, but I said, "Well, you need to answer the door." So she does. And this gentleman is standing there. And when we exited the parking lot in St. Louis, she dropped her ID with her driver's license and her credit card in a little, carry thing. And he found it. And instead of just turning it in, he looked at it, realized it's in Granite City. He lives in Granite City. So amazing blessing. So he comes to our house and delivers it, and phenomenal person. So we just want to recognize him and thank him. My wife is pretty blessed. Here.
So we're presenting Logan Braden tonight with a certificate of recognition. This certificate is proudly presented to Logan Braden on behalf of the city of Granite City. Let me take this opportunity to recognize and commend you on going above and beyond to help a fellow citizen in urgent need. Thank you for kindness and doing the right thing. Everybody want to take a picture?
Him as
Hey,
Come on up real quick. Come on up, take a picture if you want. I think she's talking to me.
Thanks, sir.
Nice shot.
Yes, thank you. Excellent.
She said sage.
Hey, good fun. See you now.
Sometimes in the world we live in, we forget that there's still good people out there. And I'm glad that good person is from Granite City. So thank you very much. All right, report of standing committees, negotiating committee, Alderman Garcia.
Nothing at this time.
Thank you. District Committee, Alderman Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of announcements. I just want to say that the turnout for the Halloween parade and events was very good. The parade route was packed with people. And then everyone stayed to enjoy the band in the park. And then also just make sure you're checking the website for mill events. That's it.
How was the food?
I don't know, somebody had. Well, I don't even know.
Anything else, Miss Davis?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you. Planning and Zoning Committee, Alderman McDowell.
Yes, Mayor, make a motion to approve a resolution by the city of Granite City approving the recommendations of the Illinois A Route 3 planning study and supporting their implementation as discussed in committee earlier this evening.
All right, thank you. Motion by Alderman McDowell, second by Alderman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I think it's a great proposal for our city. I think it'll do wonders for Route 3. The Port District be a big boom for you if we can get this thing and see this thing through. So very happy that we're going to support this. So thank you all.
Also like to make a motion to approve an ordinance vacating a portion of Center Street and an alley lying north of Hilmer's subdivision.
So motion by Alderman McDowell, second by Alderman Lemaster. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Aye.
Sorry, that was my fault. It's my- McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Master.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
I didn't realize we'd made it through the first one before your microphone did that. So ayes have it. Alderman McDowell. Thank you. Legal and Legislative, Alderman Smith. Thank you. Public Works, Alderman Pickerel.
I'd like to invoke the omnibus rule on items 1, 2, and 3. These are all new handicap parking spaces that will be valid for 4 years. They're at 2451 Delmar Avenue, 2930 Edwards Street, and 2575 Grand. Make a motion to approve these.
All right. Motion to omnibus made by Alderman Pickerel, second by Alderman Hawkins. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Motion by Alderman Pickerel to approve, second by Alderman Hawkins. All those in favor? I'm sorry. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith. Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson. Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Ayes have it. Second reading, final passage.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith. Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Alderman Pickerel.
No further business.
Thank you. No police committee report tonight. Fire committee, Alderman Lemaster.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Risk management, Alderman Pearson.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you. Economic development, Alderman Burton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple of things. Item 1 on the agenda, I'd like to we're tabling the Ralph Building project contract to the November 4th meeting. Item 2 on the agenda would be to make a motion for the approval of the Mill Art Studio and elevator contract.
One moment. We'll need a motion to table that.
Table that?
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
I'd like to make a motion to table the Ralph Building contract till November 4th.
Motion by Alderman Burton, second by Alderman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You may continue.
Item 2, approval of the Mill Art Studio and elevator contract. that we talked earlier in committee. I'd like to make a motion to approve that.
All right, motion by Alderman Burton, second by Alderman Davis. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Ayes have it. Alderman Burton.
Next, we have an ordinance to approve the purchase of properties at or before the December 2025 Madison County tax auction.
Motion by Alderman Burton, second by Alderman Garcia. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Ayes have it. Second reading, final passage.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Ayes have it. Alderman Burton.
Lastly, an ordinance authorizing and approving the execution of a First Amendment to the redevelopment agreement for proposed area in Route 3 Corridor Industrial Park Conservation Area between the City of Granite City and Penny Lane LLC.
Motion by Alderman Burton, second by Alderman Lemaster. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Ayes have it. Second reading, final passage.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis. Smith. Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins. Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Ayes have it. Alderman Burton.
Nothing further.
Thank you. Finance Committee, Alderman Hawkins.
Yeah, first agenda item is a presentation and approval of the audit. So I'd like to ask Jim and Ethan, or is both of you to come on up and,
Pass that first. Second.
okay, yeah. Just yeah.
While Ethan is passing that out, I'll just start chatting for a moment. And I don't know if we're gonna get something up on the screen as well. There it is. What will be on the screen will be the same as the hard copies. So you get to decide if you want to be high tech or low tech.
Go with the one that's bigger.
We certainly keep the copies. And so first I have to say, when I walked in,
Thank you.
and I saw this, I thought maybe I should have brought my violin. This gentleman plays the guitar, and it might have been a little more entertaining even than an audit. But since I didn't, we're left with the audit. My first responsibility is to talk about the audit itself. So let me say that we did the audit. We did it in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards. We tested the assets, liabilities, revenues, and expenses of the city without incidents. We had the complete cooperation of your staff, Jesse, Kathy, and Kathy in particular. We had no disagreements over accounting issues, no disputes over access to accounting and auditing records for verification purposes, no disagreements over financial statement presentation, no attempts to dissuade us from our professional opinions. In every way, the audit was very much textbook, and it allows us to come before you with a clean opinion. Now, two other quick comments. One is, I would be remiss if, after having said all that, I didn't specifically say that you all have come a long way in a relatively short amount of time in terms of your financial records and accounting infrastructure, if you will. Really gratifying to see, and kudos to all of you, and specifically to the two Kathys and Jesse, who get all the real credit, because all we did is go in and test the numbers. Now you have before you just a handful of select pages. I pointed out to Mayor Parkinson that after we reviewed the audit in great detail, that it's 70 pages in the audit and 2 minutes a page, we'd be out of here in a robust 2 hours and 20 minutes. He suggested that was an impeachable offense and that we keep this a little more direct. So what you have is relevant pieces of your balance sheet that I think tell a real story. And then we'll follow that up with some income and expense activities. So if we look at what you have before you now, go to the first slide, back to the first slide. There you go. If you look at what you have before you now, you have cash and investments and net assets, which is effectively the equity of the city. And on the cash side, big picture, you can see that in 2022, you had 41,454,000 in cash. And right now, you have over double that at 102,989,000 in cash. That's made up of 33,450,000 in your operational cash. You've got cash reserves, so working capital reserves that you've just set aside of another 15 million. The capital improvements fund, that's what's left of the funds from the sale of the wastewater treatment plant. Pension resources of 27 million. Those two are monies that came from the sale of the wastewater treatment plant. You can see that's gone down because payments have been made to your pension fund, as we'll discuss in more detail later. You have 10,208,000 in your TIF fund, and you have left over some COVID monies, some so-called ARP monies of 3,498,000. We'll talk about those more in a minute as well. On the net asset side, you have capital assets of 65,523,000. Now, what does that mean? Last year, you had 58,322,000 of bricks and mortar net of depreciation. You added some $9 million, a little bit more, $9.1 million in capital improvements in 25, and you had 2.1 million in depreciation that took you from the 58 million to the 65 million. So what did you spend $9 million on? You spent roughly 900,000 on land. You bought $500,000 worth of Adams Street, 2 different locations on Adams Street. That was $500,000, another 12 parcels of land for another $400,000. You had construction projects of another $3.8 million. Things like 23rd Street, Carson, Richmond, Twin, St. Clair. All of these areas received improvements and others of $3.8 million for things like demolition, sidewalk improvements, and storm drainage. You had other buildings and improvements, including this facility, by the way, where you spent a little bit of money cleaning it up. The biggest dollars were in the Wortham Park splash pad, which I've not visited. There were firehouse renovations. The cinema had some renovations. As I said, this particular location and facility, another 1.8 million, all to get to the 9 million in capital additions. $1.1 million in vehicles, $500,000 in police vehicles, another 150,000 for the fire department, semis, dump trucks and such, another 450,000 for your public works. All of that came to 1.150. You also bought another $500,000 of equipment, cardiac monitors for 200,000, Microsoft software and other software for another 200,000. Those are some of your capital additions that took you to a net $65.5 million of infrastructure that you all have put in place to support the community. We talked about TIF cash before of 10,200,000. Total equity in your TIF fund of 10,585,000 is the cash, plus about $375,000 worth of land that you purchased in the TIF fund. We talked about the cash in the ARP fund that's sitting in your equity. You've got money set aside for your bond debt service, and we'll talk about the bonds in more detail in a moment. And then you have the 27 million in the pension fund that we talked about, the pension safety fund, and then unrestricted dollars of a negative $36 million. Now, That negative 36 million isn't the most positive thing for the city, to be candid. However, you compare that to where you were in 2022, where you were at a negative $135 million. It is a phenomenal improvement for the city overall. Even more striking, if you look at total net assets, which effectively is equity of the city. In 2022, you were a negative 70 million, and right now you're a positive 71 million. I got to tell you, I don't have many clients that improve their net asset position by 140 million over 3 years. Really just a phenomenal result. Some of that result is the result of improvements in your pension funding status, which is the bottom section of this report. You can see that your IMRF, the first line, has been consistently at or around 100% funded, and that's to your credit. Police and firefighters, however, those pension plans have been woefully underfunded for some time. They were at 43 and 32% respectively in 22. They went down in 23 because the state of Illinois actuaries reassessed the plan, as they do for all plans periodically, and furthered the hole that you were in. So at the end of 23, you were 40% funded in police and 29% funded in the firefighters. Fast forward to 25, as a result of a program you've undertaken and the utilization of monies from the wastewater treatment facility sale, you're now at 82% funded for the police pension and 69% for the fire. Now let's talk about that in real dollars for a second. In 23, when you were 40% funded for police, that left you 56 million underfunded for the police fund. At 29% for the firefighters, you were at 65 million underfunded in the firefighters. Those same numbers, to fast forward now, are 16 and 26 million respectively. So you went from 56 underfunded to 16 underfunded and 65 underfunded to 26 underfunded. Now, one more thing about that. Most people do not have a fully funded pension fund for police and firefighters currently. That's just not the norm within the state of Illinois. We delivered an audit report yesterday for a city that is doing very well, has strong financials, and their police pension was at 72% funded. So that's not at all unusual. And I believe that you can stay the course and continue to eat ground up into that funding in the normal course of operations. That's a business decision that the mayor and you all will make, but it seems that you're on track with regular contributions as required by the actuaries and improvements in the financial results of your investments to see continued improvement in that area. Overall, a really strong net asset position presentation. Now, if we look at the income and expense of the city, the next page, sit right there. So I'm just going to walk through some of these revenues. It's a 3-year presentation, so you can see both what happened in 25 and some history. So we'll start with property taxes. I'm going to touch on all these, but I will start with property taxes. You can see it went from 19,600,000 in 23 down to 18.7 million in 24 and 18.6 million in 25. I will tell you, we're not seeing many of our governmental entities where the property tax burden for the community has come down. In your case, part of that is because the TIF tax ended in 24, which reduced the taxes collected for that. So you've actually collected less property taxes from the community in 25 than you did in 24 and 23.
Can you say that one more time?
Numbers are the numbers, and you can certainly see it. 25 is less than 44, which is less than 23. And more, I'll say it again. I don't think I've got another governmental entity on either side of the river where I could stand before the city council and say property taxes have come down. I just don't see it. I had to double check the numbers. So beyond that, home rule sales tax, sales and use tax, state income tax, motor fuel, telecommunications, all of those tax revenues are very consistent year to year. Now, those of you who are eagle-eyed, as I walked through that, would say, hey, he skipped replacement tax. So let's go back and talk about replacement tax, because unlike the other taxes collected from the state of Illinois, they were all comparable to slightly up. Not true for replacement tax. As you can see, and that's that fourth number down, replacement tax went from 9,421,000 to 6,205,000 to 4,114,000. You can blame the state of Illinois for that. The simple truth is they over-distributed in some of the COVID years, in part because they were trying to, and in part by accident. They realized it, and so they had to do two things. They had to right-size the distribution of replacement tax, and they had to claw back some of which they had over-distributed. And so that's why it is that you see 9.4, 6.2, 4.1. Nothing the city's done completely out of your control unless you can slide over across the river. But that's what happened to those revenues. It's down, as you can see, some $5 billion over 2 years. So we went through telecommunications tax. Below that is the grant line. And as you might imagine, grants tend to bounce up and down based upon the grants that you get. So in 23, you got 9,236,000 in ARPA money. That was effectively COVID monies, mostly COVID monies, I should say. 24 is a little grant. 25, most of that grant, that 5,876,000, most of that is DECO, which of course is the Department of Economic Commerce Opportunity. So those funds came in 25. By the way, with regard to ARPA, real quickly, you received two tranches, 8.4 million in 22 and 8.4 million in 23. You can, 21 and 22. So 21 isn't on here. So you got big money in 21, 8.4 million. Another 8.4 million is that 9.2 that's in there. You spent those monies. You spent $1.5 million in 22, 4.6 million in 23, 2.8 million in 24, 4.3 million you spent this year. That comes to 13.3. You got 16.8, and that takes you right back to what we said earlier. You've got $3.5 million sitting on the balance sheet of ARPA funds at April 30 of 25 to be spent. You've since encumbered or spent those monies into the community appropriately, but that's how that played out. We'll touch back on that in a minute. And then, as I said, the 5,876 is DECO monies. Local taxes, license, all the rest of these monies are pretty consistent. The other numbers that jump out at you are investment return and miscellaneous. Investment return and miscellaneous is obviously spiked, and it spiked because of the monies that were available for investment as a result of the sale of the wastewater treatment plant, as well as some improvements in the interest environment. Some of that is in investments. Some of the miscellaneous is because they were investment dollars that we didn't expect to repeat. We could have just dumped them all into investments, but for tracking purposes, they're broken out separately. But it's all investment dollars as a result of the monies you judiciously invested from your wastewater treatment plant sale. That's pretty much, and just for discussion, proceeds on sale of asset in 24 was the Cozen Court that you sold and got just short of $1 million for. Those are the revenues of the city of Granite City. On the expense side, starts with general government, and you can see the dollars in there. That's where the ARPA monies were spent. So those ARPA monies that we were talking about, the 1.5 and 22, the 4.6 and 23, the 2.8 and 24, and the 4.7 and 25, those were spent in that general government line principally. Cinema is what it is. Public safety, that's where the rubber hits the road. You've got 20 million in 23, 47 million in 24, and 47 million in 25. The big jump there is the $15 million tranches that you paid into your pension fund for each of fire and police, which is what drove the dramatic improvements in your funded status for those two plans that we looked at earlier. So you see from 20 to 47 and again flat at 47. Obviously, there's a lot of other items in there, but the two 15s, the 30 million of payments that went into your pension fund drove the lion's share of that increase. Especially since there had been some pension payments made in that 20 million. So it wasn't an increase of 30, but it was an increase of enough to drive that. Now, the other items in public safety, I'm going to just mention, public safety has roughly 15 million of salary and benefits embedded within it. So when you look at the 20 million in 23, for example, 15 million in salary and benefits, another 3.5 for pension, and you've covered almost everything that's expense in that fund. Public works. Oh, one more thing. In public safety, you bought a fire truck. These, by the way, are cash basis for your presentation. You bought a fire truck in 24 for roughly $1,060,000. And so that is in the 47,115 in 2024. You also borrowed money to do that, and we'll see that in a minute. Public works, that money, that 5.9 million in 25 includes salaries of 3.1, another $500,000 for street lighting, and then other expenses also. Principal payments are payments on your debt. You have 3 pieces of debt. 2 of them come to about $1.2 million, and it represents borrowings for the fire truck we just talked about and for a firehouse pumper or fire truck pumper. Those 2 you have as debt of about $1.2 million. The rest of the debt you have, $34.5 million, is bonds that were issued back in 2017. The city issued 40 million of bonds in 2017 to allow you to make pension payments that were required for the police and the fire because you were so underfunded and didn't have the money, apparently, to fund the required payments. So you went out and borrowed money to the tune of 40 million in 2017. Those bonds come due in 2047. I probably won't be here to celebrate that, but they will come due in 2047. It's unfortunate because that decision then really amplified the burden the community has had to carry to make up for the pension shortfalls in previous years. So that 36 million is effectively traded dollars that went into the pension fund rather than have it come out of your operations. So that 36 million of debt, 34.5 is the bond payments, is what that 1,707,000 of, sorry, 1,144,000 of principal and 1,707,000 in interest is for. And that'll be there for quite some time. Then you had a capital outlay of 5,656,000, which is no surprise and by design, very comparable to the DECO monies that you received of 5,876,000 in that grant that we looked at before. So that's the match of all that. That shows you then on a cash basis how the city did in the last 3 years. You had a surplus of 11 million in 23. You spent another 17.8 in 24, and you had a deficit of 16,981 in 25. And I want to remind you, as you look at those somewhat daunting deficits, those two deficits include 30 million apiece paid into the pension fund in 24 and 25 to bring your pension fund into a more viable situation. So had you not made those payments, you would have brought some 12 or 13 million to the bottom line, and you'd be staring at huge deficits in your pension fund. So that was the sort of financial calculus that went into all that. Net transfers in, the 82,529,000, I'm sure you all recognize relatively is monies from the sale of the wastewater treatment plant. And the 13,563,000 that you see in 25 is the monies that were left over in that fund that were transferred over then in 25 as opposed to 24. That fund is now zeroed out, closed out completely. And then lastly, in other financing sources, that 1,059,000, those are the monies you borrowed to buy the fire truck. So it shows on here. So net, after all of the activity, transfers and such, you can see the bottom line results for the city as a whole. Now, I just ran through an awful lot of detail. You now know everything there is to know about the finances of Granite City. But I'm happy to take any questions, and I'll stop.
Questions from anybody? All right. I don't think so. I think you did a great job of presenting that. I do want to say that you and Ethan are fantastic to work with. The knowledge that you guys bring and the professionalism. I say this all the time. The council's heard me say that a lot of time what people see are new streets and street lights and stop signs and speed bumps and things like that we do. What they don't necessarily see is the financial transformation that we've undertaken. And we appreciate your partnership, Jesse, Kathy, and Kathy. This is something that I, obviously as the finance chair, I'm super proud of. We as the city council, the mayor, everybody involved, should be extremely proud of this accomplishment. Like this, I don't think it can be understated. When you think of all the things we had to deal with, pension cliffs, credit ratings, bankruptcy. Are we going to have to raise taxes? I mean, we bypassed a lot of those problems by doing the right thing. And we did that with the help of you and many others. And just wanted to express our appreciation on behalf of the city for the great job that you guys do.
Well,
yes, Alderman McDowell. Yeah. Mayor, any other remarks?
We were facing bankruptcy 3 years ago.
Phenomenal improvement. You said you've come a long way, baby. That you're channeling the old Virginia Slim stuff commercial. Not to date myself, but
I do want to remind the public that these are the watchdogs for the public. These are not our employees. These are not people that are here for this council or my administration. These are the fiduciary watchdogs for the public to ensure that we are spending money correctly and that we are doing a good job with the public's money. So in hearing these reports, it just solidifies to me that the hard work, as Alderman Hawkins has said, the hard work that we've done and the tough decisions we made over the last 4.5 years have really been in the best interest of the city and getting us back on a good financial footing. So I appreciate everybody
amplify that because we are charged with being the financial watchdog. We spend hundreds of hours pouring through the books, challenging entries, demanding documentation, reviewing the processes, the controls, the procedures. Jesse, I think, was seeing this in her sleep there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And your systems, frankly weren't the best when we first started in 22, but they have really improved and you all have put tremendous effort into that. And this new software package now is going to further enhance your control and reporting systems. And we're looking forward to that audit next year because we are geeks. We're excited about that audit.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Well,
Appreciate
thank you
the,
all.
Thank you.
yep, your time and presentation. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Yeah. So I do need a motion to approve, or actually I'll make the motion to approve the audit and place on file for the city records. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Burton. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Ayes carry. We are approved.
Hey,
Ready to
Jim.
go. Thank you.
Hey, Jim, can I run the meeting? Made a motion by Alderman Hawkins. Who was it seconded by? Second by Alderman Lemaster.
I was, my bad. I
All those in favor?
I was thinking I was in committee.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
Oh, man. Sorry about that.
You know, I couldn't let it slide.
No, that's okay. I looked down and panicked and saw that we needed to approve it. So.
It's all good.
All right, make a motion to approve an ordinance which establishes the May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026 salaries for the appointed city officials who are not members of the collective bargaining units as discussed in committee.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Lemaster. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis, Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Second reading, final passage.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis, Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a resolution which approves and authorizes the execution of the amendment to the professional service agreement with Paula Hubbard for our grant writing.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a resolution which also approves and authorizes the execution of the amendment to the professional services agreement with Kathy Hamilton. This is for the economic development services.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
Make a motion to pay the city payroll. That amount this month is $705,346.45.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Smith. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis, Smith. Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins. Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
I make a motion to pay the city bill list, and this amount is $1,586,402.74.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Garcia. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis, Smith. Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins.
Aye.
Pearson.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Burton.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
I'd make a motion to pay us. We have a supplemental bill list in the amount of $16,280.33.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Smith. Roll call.
McDowell.
Aye.
Pickerel.
Aye.
Davis, Smith.
Aye.
Lemaster.
Aye.
Hawkins. Garcia.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
And finally, I'd like to make a motion to approve and place on file the September 2025 finance report.
Motion by Alderman Hawkins, second by Alderman Pearson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Alderman Hawkins.
Nothing further.
Thank you.
You can have the
Well
meeting
done.
back.
Well done. Thank you. A report of officers. Any unfinished business? Any new business? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn by Lemaster, second by Alderman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. There we have it. There it is.